The administration recommends the .0943. As a reminder, appropriations are down about 1.6 million. The state wouldn't let us adjust tuition, and health insurance is up 8%. So I'll take that into account, if you would.
Okay, the no revenue rate is 00906, and voter approved rate is 00989, and administration is recommending halfway in between that as 00943. So what we have to do is decide what we're going to set the tax rate as. We can Texas any one of these options. If we go over the voter approved rate, then we have to have a special election to do that, and I don't think we want to go through the necessary expense of doing that. So,
I think Ms. Briggs wants to say something.
question.
So just to clarify, you're setting the proposed tax rate, and then you'll set the
The options are laid out in front of us, but if we go over the voter approved rate, we'd have to have a special election.
Yes, but
Just
you'll
to
actually,
remind everybody.
yes, but you'll actually approve the tax rate in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This is just proposing a tax
We're
rate.
proposing it for discussion,
Yes, sir.
then we're going to vote to approve it.
On the 25th, you'll vote to approve the tax rate. Today, you're only approving a proposed tax rate.
Proposal, we vote the proposal today,
Yes,
yes.
we're saying the same thing, I
Same
think, sir.
thing, then we have to give the notice to the public.
Of the-
That takes us back for 2 weeks from now to come back, and if we don't have any input from the public, then we can approve what we're going to discuss today.
Yes, sir.
I guess that's the big picture. Did I confuse everybody?
You do?
I'm good.
You're
I
good?
think everyone's good. Everyone's good, sir.
Mr. Martin, you mentioned that the insurance went up, and was it the reimbursements from the state went down?
Yes.
Yes, like 1.6 million.
Okay.
And they would not let us adjust our tuition rates.
Tuition has been set, I guess, for the next 3 years. When we voted on that 2 years ago.
Well, they've been froze for the last 2
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
We didn't put in a schedule increase.
Like we normally do,
Right.
because they froze it
We
in
froze it for,
2024.
I believe, a period of 5 years, if I remember what we voted on.
And then the governor froze it. The governor said,
Yeah. Then the governor came back with an administrative restriction, but it didn't affect us because we already had restricted ourselves anyway. So if we're looking for new money, we either have to get more contracts, we have to get more taxes, or we have to cut expenses. That's the way we balance the budget. Is there anything I'm left out there?
you're fine, you're fine.
The tax revenue that we're told we're going to receive, that's not solid yet, correct?
Nothing's,
Because
no, it's estimated. It's estimated based upon the taxable property values
Yes.
that are on the tax rate calculation. So they're all estimates.
Yes, but with that, as in Armstrong refers to it as new doors, it's not including all the new doors or the additional footage to the homes. And now that they have that new system that does the overhead views to see any additions to properties, so that it would be calculated in later this year, that's not included in this as well, correct?
Correct. It doesn't include any new additions, but it also doesn't include if the values went down, or if the values on the roads now went up. So,
Yeah, the appraisal board will, based on what their needs are, they'll value a home more or less year by year. But we have all these new bills, and not everybody's 100% military disabled or otherwise. And I know back in code, about 5 years ago, I did a study, and 80% of the homes there were rentals. So there's no discount. And, but that's always out there, is that, oh, they've got too many 100% disabled. I'm not so sure I buy that, but that's the number they need to give us.
And a lot of property has been bought by builders in area as well that has been rezoned and now set in a different property taxing revenue bracket to where those larger properties are now multiple taxable lots. So, I mean, that's not in there either, as the cat had described.
I'm not familiar with that, yeah.
So what percentage of federal and state funding that's coming back to us, is that solid as well? We know those solid numbers?
Well, within your federal revenue line item, you got Pale, that's your big one. If you want to look at federal contracts, the MOS contract and small arms maintenance contracts, those, as far as federal funds, those are probably pretty well set, I guess. But most of in your federal revenue line item is Pale.
But Pell is passed through.
It's passed through, so, you know, what comes in, we give out. We get reimbursed for what.
With the reimbursement, how long does that typically take to come around? Because I see here like the Hazelwood reimbursement.
Hazelwood is state.
And that's definitely negative, what, 102,000 plus?
Yeah, that's our reimbursement. What
Like,
you
is
see,
that at this time, like it's coming, or is that definitely after it's all said and done, that's going to be 102,000 negative?
that's the annual amount.
Okay.
That was the
And that's a percentage.
that was
It's
the
not the
20
full.
Yeah, it's not the whole amount.
That's not the whole amount due.
And I have a question. Just generally, what's the trend on unfunded mandates? I've been here for a time, but I haven't really studied it. But are they up from the last 5 years, or have they added new ones, the state, that puts us in a position that we're in?
I don't think they've added new exemptions. Maybe that number there, I think it's pretty close to last year. It may be slightly down. I just don't have my numbers from last year.
Okay.
Now, one of the biggest ones that would affect us is in-state tuition for service members who are assigned to
Correct.
Fort Hood, for
Correct.
example. And that number will probably increase because right now, the Army is meeting all of its enlistment goals and exceeding it, as a matter of fact. So you can look for some of those numbers to change a little bit. I don't think it'll be a whole lot, but we do have to offer them in-state tuition instead of the out-of-state tuition, which is pretty much, I don't think it's wrong, but it's gonna affect our bottom line, because we used to get more money.
2.1 million.
So our total budget totals like, what, 103,000?
100
From 89
105, I think.
million, I mean?
Yeah, my paper's over there, 105.
105, okay. Yeah, it was 103. 105, okay. And that's up from last year's of
It's
89
actually-
million?
It's actually down about 500,000. So it's real close.
500,000, or- So the total cost difference to the establishment, what would be the difference that we would have to come up with if we went with the no new revenue from the faculty's request of the 0.0943?
That difference is 590,000.
590,000 of the $105 million budget. Got it.
Yes. That's versus the no new rate.
And how much are we required to have in reserve?
I think it's, I'm not sure. I think it may be, I'm not sure. I don't
Do we know how much of the reserve we used last year?
Right now, hopefully by the end, I won't know till the end of the year, till we finish the audit, but hopefully it'll be close to even. Right now, there's a deficit on your financial statements through July, so it looks like you will go into reserves.
Yep.
But until we finish the audit and made our year end,
We should be back recovered with.
hopefully it'll be close to even. Hopefully it could be down. I'm not gonna promise anything.
So with next year's budget, everything's already finalized as what we're gonna put out next year, or is it still?
Everything's right, 'cause I'm gonna adjust it, after this meeting, I'm gonna adjust it one more time for what y'all decide on the rates, and then I'll make some minor adjustments for hopefully revenue. So it all should be a positive change between here and the 25th.
So even with our negatives, we would still have the same reserve by the end of the year?
Hopefully that, right now your transfer from reserve is 6.4. Hopefully I can get that down to, maybe 6.1.
In between both counties, with both county CADs, with the number of the new doors and everything, and the square footage added and everything like that, not having that solid number yet.
Bell and Coral are included in the tax rate
But
calculation.
do we expect property values to go down in the area? Because
I can only speak for Coral. I see a lot of building, I see building going on. I'm not familiar with Bell, but.
more new buildings equal more higher property values,
Correct.
unfortunately.
Mhm.
Yes. So we're looking at definitely property values going up. We're looking at property taxes increasing on top of that. With the property tax increase equates more revenue coming back to us with what we already have set. And that means our community is gonna be paying out, an individual still living in their house without an increase from us is still gonna have an increase in their home in property tax.
If that scenario played out, yes, that is, unless the property values came down.
And with the school boards, Cove ISD and Clean ISD, they have to go with the max to get the funding back from the state and everything from that as well. County, right now, we're looking at a lot happening within there. That's debatable. So between cities and us, we're the only ones that can either maintain or stay the same with the increase that's going to happen within property value and everything anyways, correct?
I didn't know that about the schools. I didn't know they had to go with the max.
Well, they can deny the max, but then they don't get the state funding.
The state funding.
Which we don't have any issues with or anything, correct? It's just how many students we're able to push out in the end, correct?
We just have to choose a number, and we've got several options to pick from. As a taxpayer, I'd like to get the lowest pair of taxes I can, but as a trustee, my fiduciary is to get the best deal we can for the college, so.
Yes.
You gotta weigh those options
Yes.
and vote your heart.
So again, with that, what is the difference between no new revenue and the establishments approved .0943
590,000.
of a $105 million budget?
Yeah.
Yes,
Percentage-wise, what would that be?
that's a
I'm
percentage.
not a numbers guy, so I figured I'd ask the number guy.
Well, if you went with the .0943, that is a 4.06% increase over the no new rate.
If it helps, I'd use the taxpayer impact statement. It looks like it's up $26.46 for the year on the tax bill of the estimated tax bill from where we are today.
On the very bottom, the classes there, it gives the home value, and then what the actual number would be for housing from 100,000 to 500,000. And if you had a $500,000 house, and monthly increase at the 0.043 would be $1.78 a month.
The medium home value is 263,000, and that is $11.30 a year.
94 cents a month. So that's the dilemma. What do you do?
Yes.
Aren't you having questions?
I'm trying to understand the voter approved, okay, the voter approved is 0.989, correct?
Right.
And what we're looking at choosing is 0.943, which which is less than the voter approved.
Exactly.
That's just out there.
That's just out there.
Y'all get to choose.
Okay.
It's just an option.
It's just an option. I'm just showing you what the options are. And that's by far less than the 4.9, yeah, 8.9. Yes. I got the percentage. I saw the percentages. Yeah, 4.6, 4.06. All right. That's all I have.
Doug, I don't know if you're in a position to do this or if you even feel comfortable. Is the 4.06%, is that a recommendation or is that just a middle of the road kind of deal?
Well,
Just the
both.
number, okay,
Both.
okay. Because we have the flexibility of doing any of these.
Correct.
We have the flexibility to do any of the three. The flexibility we have to contend is, are we able to operate with all three of them? Or
Yeah.
all three
But-
physically?
But all of the ones up here at the
Understand.
top of the
Yes,
page,
ma'am.
we could go with 1% if we wanted to.
Yes.
We can go with 6.15% if we choose. So we have that freedom to do that.
We do, but the question is, the functioning of the establishment will still exist with any of these chosen?
If it
Just,
got,
yeah, with
well, if it got, I mean, if it gets down to it, I've seen your chancellor approve every requisition that comes through.
Okay.
So if
So-
it comes down to it, we can,
So we are not putting the establishment at threat of choosing any of these, correct?
we really need it. They're trying to add programs and, 8% increases in health insurance, and when the state drops their appropriations by 1.6, I mean, that's hard to operate on.
Yes. Because there's a lot of homes that are hard to operate on
I
right now.
understand.
That's the economy we're looking at right now. Because we're not talking about revenue or something coming into the school, we're actually talking about the taxpayers' dollars here, is what we're talking about,
Correct.
not our money. Well, what we pay into it.
Well, yeah. Hey, look at it this way. If you adopt the no new revenue tax rate, then you're gonna get $16.223.5 million in taxes. And your headline will say, CTC didn't increase taxes. If you choose any other options, you're gonna get more money, and the headline's gonna say, CTC raises taxes. So either way you go, you're gonna get accused of raising taxes, except for the one no new rate.
Yes. And the other thing is, we have to recognize that even if we do go with the no new rate, property taxes will increase. But the property and value of homes are definitely going to increase in the new doors and everything, so that is more revenue that will come in, even if we choose the no new rate.
Well, that's just based on what the tax rate is right now. So what you're looking at is how many houses do you have in Bell County and Coyle County right now? It doesn't count the future. The future will be
hear you.
taken over next year.
I hear you, yes,
So
but
this is a hard number. This is what exists today. No future.
but we have not completed all of the square footage and the values of the homes yet.
Yes, we have. That's what they set. When this number comes up, it's what exists that you can tax today.
Today,
Today.
yes.
Not what is not finished yet.
Yes.
It's what is existing today, has been
Today.
sold, and somebody has
Yes.
bought and paid taxes on it
Today,
today.
yes. Now, what about as we go into November and December?
That'll be next year's.
Yes.
You can't go backwards and
I hear you.
reassess this. We
Yeah.
said it one time for a year, and it's good for 1 year.
Yes. So we're talking 500,000 plus.
So one thing that I would point out is that you're setting a proposed tax rate. This is not the final. You'll do that in 2 weeks, right? Generally speaking, it is recommended that you set a number today that you won't go over. So, at least that's what Doug and I have talked about, and it's the rule in other governmental entities. And so, I'm not recommending that you set a number super high that would trigger an election, because that absolutely will get you headlines, and I don't think from your conversation that's not your intent. But whatever you set today should be the maximum number anybody would be willing to set. But you can always go down when you approve the actual tax rate on the 25th.
Correct.
That being said, I'd like to make a motion that we set the initial tax rate at 0.0943, which is recommended from the staff at this time, and then we can decide if we want to keep it at that or reduce it down later on.
Motion made, here a second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on that motion?
Yeah, if we vote on that right now, then when we come back in that room, that's the max that we can go to.
That's the max.
So, I know,
Yeah.
I'm telling. But do we want to take out a little lower just to play it safe? Or is that what you're willing it to be in the end? Because you're making a motion.
I'm making the motion just to set the effective, so we'll know, so the staff knows what numbers to work for us, and to make it look, and then we can come back, and if we want it to go lower, let's say if we want to do no new
But is
revenue.
that a statement of what you're willing to accept in 2 weeks? Because you made that motion, that's the highest you're willing it to go.
That's the highest I'm willing to accept. I mean, we can go down one, but,
Well, if we can go down one, do you want to move it down one now?
motion to amend the motion.
You can also just withdraw your motion.
I withdraw my motion.
Do you withdraw your second?
Okay, I'll withdraw my second. May I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm not sure why we would want to reduce it, when we have the freedom to reduce it in 2 weeks, why would we want to reduce it now? It really ties our hands in that we would be at 3.03 or lower. And this gives us more flexibility to make a decision, doesn't it? After you've run the numbers based on what we're gonna give you to go back and work with today, correct?
Yes, I'll adjust it for that higher tax rate. Right now, it's based on the no new, so I'll adjust it for the higher tax rate. And then, like Tracy said, you can come back in and lower if you want to. I'll have to make another adjustment for what's finally posted.
But right now is your opportunity to draw the line in the sand of where you're willing to let it to advance to.
But
So what is that number you're willing to let it to advance to here in 2 weeks?
We could draw the line in the sand as all the way up to 7.21.
We can, but where do you want to draw that line yourself?
It was his motion, so I assumed that that was as high as you were willing to go, and I supported that would be as high as I would be interested in going.
With that being said, I reinstate the motion. I motion that we approve the effective tax rate of 0.0943.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on this motion?
Do we expect any better fidelity of unknowns by the next meeting?
I've adjusted, I have an adjustment to make for an MOS contract. I mean, it's not material, but you might notice it in your transfer, but it's not material to 105 million.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Ayes? Signify by raising your right hand as an nay. Motion carries. And with that,
No,
we have the announcement. Well,
yes, the time and the place for the public hearing needs to be announced.
give this to Nick.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to read it.
No, I know, the agenda doesn't say the place. I needed to point out to you that it doesn't say the place. I need you to include that.
The announcement of time and location of public hearing and special meeting scheduled for Tuesday, August 25th, 2026 at 12:30 p.m. and the regular board meeting scheduled for Tuesday, August 25th, 2026 at 1 p.m. at the Anderson Center at Central Texas College in Coryell County, Texas. And with that, we are adjourned, and we will reconvene at 1 p.m. for the workshop.